And welcome back today. Today we are going to be taking a look at the 1965 Ford Mustang. A buddy of mine had one of these in high school. It did not look like this. It was bone stock. It was a beautiful car. I love that car. That car got a lot of attention from people. So I'm doing this one in his honor today. So for the first thing we're going to do, the engine, we are going to swap out into the 4.9 liter flat 12. For the parts, it is sport everything with the dual turbocharger. Then we have the Elite road suspension, the sport brakes, the Elite grip tires, the Elite clutch, the sport 5-speed gearbox, the Elite differential, and Supernature's grip and drift. For the handling, we are at 60% grip, steering sensitivity is all the way up, downforce is 1 to the right, traction control is off, and drift entry is brake tap. This will give us 168 miles per hour in A class with a 0 to 60 of 4.7 and a quarter mile of 12.8 with 419 horsepower. So let's go race this thing because I have not done that yet. Alright, so we're on the drain. We're going to get this launch. Drain is a very common A-class race. Launch on this is pretty good. I am already starting to take over and pass everybody. So that's nice. Sometimes taking jumps is good. Ooh, I almost got a bear that I didn't even know was there. So we're going to slide around this corner. It does... The drifting so far with that one drift felt kind of weird. This one felt better, but I also let off the stick earlier. So it's just a matter of learning how to, drive this thing. Because I have not driven it outside of just testing speeds and accelerations and all that kind of stuff. So we're coming down through this stretch right here. We are going to drift that. So it's like, it'll drift a little bit and grip a little bit, which it's set more for grip than drift, so I guess that shouldn't be too surprising. But at 60% grip, I would expect it to drift pretty decently. But maybe I just have, wrong expectations. And that was a drift all on its own. So we are going to come down to the last stretch of the race right here. And we are going to see if I can maintain this lead, which it's growing, so it shouldn't be a problem. The only one even close to me is Waru, and he's not even that close. So we're going to come through the drain system, which the first time I went on this race, I was like, this is freaking cool. And I still think this is one of the coolest parts of any race in this game, is just going through this sewer system. Just because it's different. And I'm not... okay, I did break 150 before the end of that race, but that one doesn't have a lot of long straights in it, so I'm not too surprised by that. So for that race, I'd say the car was pretty good. It had good acceleration, good off the line, and it handled pretty decently. Not quite how I wanted it to handle, but still pretty good. So now it's time to check out A+. Okay, so here we are with A. Cool thing about all three of these builds is that we are just sticking with the 4.9 liter flat 12 for all three. So for the parts on this, it is the Sport Induction, the Pro ECU, the Sport Fuel System, Sport Exhaust, the Super Screw Supercharger, Sport Nitrous, Elite Road Suspension, Sport Brakes, Elite Grip Tires, Elite Clutch, the Pro 6-speed Gearbox, the Elite Differential, and Supernature's Grip and Drift. For the handling, we are at 45% grip, steering sensitivity, and downforce are all the way up there. Traction control is, of course, off, and drift entry is brake tap. This will give us 189 miles per hour, a 0 to 60 of 4 seconds, and a quarter mile of 11.8. So I have a feeling for A+, this probably won't be a great car, but I'm about to find out along with you. Alright, so we're going to get this launch here on Drifter's Delight. There we go. Not too bad off the launch. I'm not really complaining about the launch at all. And let's see this first corner. Oh, that like caught the grass or something and the front tire stuck. got stuck, and then the rear tires just went all the way around, so that wasn't good. And I am not in the lead anymore, which also isn't good. Maybe I can get it here. That was a pretty good drift. There we go. But Harlow came right up into it because the car just wasn't that great coming through here. So if the AI is keeping up with this car this much right now in this race, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is not a very good car to use in A+. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up the race to see if that assumption will hold true or not. I'm really not impressed by it so far, though. It should not have taken me that long to get ahead of Harlow. And then the cop wanted to get involved. And then, wow, that was a mistake. I should not have bursted around that corner at all. Let's see, can I... Yeah, this really just doesn't feel good at all. I mean, maybe a different build with a different engine would be better. But so far, I'm not real impressed with this. And I'm also used to this being an S-Class race and not an A+ race. Because at least I think that's what I remember it being, a multiplayer. But maybe I'm remembering that incorrectly. It has been a long time since I've raced this race in any event. That corner wasn't too bad. Let's see about the last corner here. That wasn't too bad. But we are only going to hit 129, it looked like. Yeah, I can't really recommend this car in A+. It didn't feel good. It felt slow. Harlow had the lead on me for way too long, so no, don't build this in A+. Okay, and now for the S-Class build. Again, we are sticking with the 4.9 liter flat 12. For the parts, we have Elite Induction, Super ECU, Super Fuel System, Elite Exhaust, Elite Screw Supercharger, the Sport Nitrous, the Elite Road Suspension with the Sport Brakes, the Elite Grip Tires, the Elite Clutch, the Pro 6-speed gearbox, the Elite Differential, and Super Nitrous Grip and Drift. I feel like I just said a lot of elites in that statement. Alright, for the handling, we have 60% grip, steering sensitivity all the way up, downforce in the middle, traction control is off, and drift entry is brake tap. That will give us a top speed of 196 miles per hour, a 0 to 60 of 3.6, and a quarter mile of 10.7, with pretty decent torque at 776 and horsepower at 893. Not the highest you can have in S-Class, but not too shabby either. Alright, let's go get this and see if this thing's worth the money at all. Alrighty, time to roll a little rapid transit here. Got the launch. Not too bad off the launch. Not bad at all. Getting a nice little draft. And we're going to draft here. And then we're just going to zoom right on by. See you on the other side. And let's see how it does on this corner. Not bad at all. I'm not complaining about that, that's for sure. I wish I would have stayed off the dirt there, but that was my fault. Don't you dare, you little cop. I mean, for having only 60% grip, this thing tends to handle the corners pretty decently. And I'm not upset about how it's handling, so that is a plus. I was doing 184, it looked like, until I got into the dirt. So getting into the dirt definitely slows the car way down, but that is a very common thing with most cars in this game, and I just screwed that corner up big time. So I'm not going to have as good a time just because I screwed up in that little spot. But I was still up to 180 before I got into the dirt, and I was holding that 183 there for a little bit, so not too bad. Okay, let's see. I recovered it a little bit, but it still wasn't the best I could have gone around that corner. That was close. A very annoying police presence in this race. But outside of annoying, they aren't usually troublesome. So that 60% grip was starting to show itself a little bit right there. It was getting a little loose, trying to maintain being on the track. So there's not a whole lot you can really do about that except try to improve the handling. But I'm doing 194 already, which is top speed coming down this stretch. And now we are in the final throes of this race. Hopefully I don't screw anything up, he says as he enters the spot where everybody screws up the most. And that cop looked like it wanted to get involved. It looked like it wanted to cause me to have an accident, which wasn't nice of it. That was very close. I almost got hit an accident there. And let's see. Okay, I got a little burst NOS coming out of there, so that was nice. It's always nice to have burst NOS when you get onto that dirt. And then if I get off of the dirt, that would be even nicer. And we are going to finish this race out, and we are going to see what the final time was. No burst NOS, none, come on. Alright, so we're doing 194. Alright. It looked like I finished that in 254 coming out of the race. Come on, let me see, so I can double check. 254. The best I've ever done on that race was 250, 249, somewhere around there. So if I would have driven a little bit cleaner, I maybe could have hit or beaten my best time. So I'm going to say this is actually a really good car for S-Class. As far as A goes, it was pretty good. A+, do not build it at all. But S-Class, it shines a whole lot. And I felt like it was pretty good in A. So if you haven't already, buy this car, build this car, use this car. You can win a pretty good amount of races with it. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Leave the comments down below, you know, right down there. Smash on the like button. Yeah, you know, the thumbs up. Yeah, hit the thumbs up one. And I'll catch you in the next one.